Hey guys, and welcome to FaithWorks Designs. I'm Faith and I am very excited to release the Gamer Round from K&A Custom Fabrics. Cannot wait for you guys to see these because they're super easy. I needed a super easy one after a couple of the patterns that we've been doing, so these are really easy, and there's another set of easy patterns. You guys have to go look at the sew-alongs at K&A because this Gamer Round is out of control and it's all Alex's fault. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the Mini Gameboy book bag crossbody. You'll see in just a second. If you guys have watched the Mario book bag video, we had those kind of for the kids, and then Alex was kind of like she wanted something for her. So we made these designs, and we've got a couple. So we've got Kirby for you, and then we've got Zelda. And I love how these turned out, the colors and everything. So let's talk about how super easy these are. And I wanted to give you guys some options for your bag. So we threw in some triangle pieces and some D-ring pieces. And that way you guys can kind of make up your mind if you wanted to do a crossbody, if you wanted to book bag, if you wanted to do a sling. We threw all that in because we want you guys to not be limited by what you have on a panel. So we've been adding a few more pieces, and I hope you guys have been using them. For the Zelda, in today's video, I made a sling that can be put on either side. So you can put it on the left or put it on the right. We thought that would be kind of cool. Everybody seems to be into slings right now. My customers don't like slings, so on the Kirby I made it into a book bag, and not only a book bag. Alright, so this is a little awkward. So you've got your crossbody style, right? Okay. Then we're going to take the straps, and it's a book bag. I thought you guys might like that opportunity to be able to have like a crossbody if you wanted one, or a book bag if you wanted one. In today's tutorial, I will be showing you both bags and how to do both the sling and the book bag crossbody. They will also be in the written directions, so if you want to purchase those will be in the description link down below. And make sure that you get your panel from K&A Custom Fabrics. Let's get started. Alright, when you get your roll, whether it is the Zelda or the Kirby, they're all going to come in a roll, and when you open them up, you're going to have your main panel with all of your pieces that you're going to need, your zipper gusset, your bottom gusset, and Alex and I were talking about having either a backpack, purse, or sling. We want you guys to have options so it doesn't just have to be one thing, because some customers, like my customers, like book bags more than they like slings. But your customers might like slings more than they like book bags. So we wanted to give you guys some options. You're also going to get your lining. That's going to have all of your lining. We do not have a pocket in this. But if you wanted to add a zipper pocket, if you wanted to add a slip pocket, you could always buy some coordinating fabric and then just kind of do whatever you would like to do. We're just trying to keep it nice and basic. So that is your Zelda panel. And then if you wanted to see what Kirby looked like, that is the Kirby. I'll show you what both of them look like when I get them done. I'll be making these at the same time. And that's the lining for the Kirby. Now, I got waterproof canvas with mine, and this is the K&A waterproof canvas. You can iron K&A's waterproof canvas. You don't want to put your iron directly onto the waterproof canvas. You want to put like a piece of material or some kind of pressing cloth over top of it, and then get this nice and smoothed out before you start cutting it. Another thing I almost forgot is you're supposed to take your outer panel and use it as a template for your lining. Don't just cut your lining out separately. It'll end up being the lining will be larger, I believe. It'll be a different size. We can't help it. It happens during printing. We've tried. So that's why I keep trying to tell you guys in every video, use your outer as your template. Alright, so for both of them, they have this really cute webbing that we're going to use. The Kirby is printed on both sides. The Zelda is printed on both sides. It's really cool. So depending upon what you want to do is how much of the webbing you're going to need. I know that it's absolutely no help. But if you're going to make like a purse slash book bag, you're going to need about 60 inches to 2.5 yards, something like that. I'll let you guys know in the video towards the end how much I actually use, or editing phase will put in how much I used right now. I also have my zipper tape. This is going to be for Kirby, and then this is going to be for Zelda. So our hardware didn't come in time for us to be able to show you guys everything. I will put a picture here of what the zipper pulls are going to look like. Today I'm going to make the Kirby into a book bag and the Zelda into a sling, and I'm going to show you guys what all you're going to need for each one. For the book bag, we're going to need 3 yards. I have 3 yards of webbing. You might need a little less. It just depends on who you're making this for. I've got 2 strap adjusters and 4 D-rings. What you're going to need for the sling is 1 strap adjuster, 1 swivel clasp, 1 1-inch swivel clasp, 2 zippers, and 2 1-inch D-rings. That's what we're going to need to be able to make the sling. So let's get that all cut up. Alright, let's go over some pieces. So we've got our strap connectors are 2 inches by 4 inches. Our bottom gusset is 2 3/4 wide by 14 1/4. Our zipper gusset is 1 1/4 wide by 19 long. Our back is 8 1/2 wide by 10 inches tall. And our front is 11 inches tall and 8 1/2 inches wide. I didn't cut out the lining because I wanted to show you guys. This is why we take the outer panels and cut our lining. I don't know why it happens when it prints, but it happens. So you're going to need to take this and use it as your template to cut all of this out. Also, I have pebble lining. It's just kind of the vinyl that I prefer to use and I like to use. So I'm going to use Decovil Light to interface it, and I've cut it shorter all the way around on all of your pieces. I cut this a little bit shorter because it's going to come together, you'll see in a minute. You want to cut all of your pieces 1/4 inch shorter all the way around. On all of your pieces, you're going to cut them 1/4 inch shorter. On my D-ring straps, I normally make a 3/4 inch piece of Decovil Light and then make it go to the edges. I'll show you guys when I'm all done putting everything together. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make our zipper gusset. You're going to need your 2 outer. Your zipper needs to be cut to the length of your outer, and then you need your lining. You're going to put right side to right side, your zipper and your outer, and you're going to clip all of those together, and then you're going to add your lining right side to the wrong side of your zipper, and then we'll take it to the sewing machine. Alright, I have got a size 12 needle in my industrial. I have got a 3-stitch length. I am going to sew 1/4 inch to join my outer, zipper, and lining together. Alright, now that they're sewn together, we're going to take the outer and the lining and pull them away from our zipper. I'm going to base stitch down this side and then come back up and top stitch. I've got my stitch length at a 4. And we're just sewing 1/8 inch to the edge. Alright, so we've got that all put together. Now I'm going to take the other outer and put it right side to right side of the zipper, making sure that my edges here match up. I'm going to clip all the way down, and then I'm going to add my lining to, you'll put right side of your lining to the wrong side of your zipper. Alright, I've got my 3-stitch length. I'm going to sew 1/4 inch. Now we're going to take the outer and the lining and pull them away from our zipper, and then we're going to top stitch again. Got a 4-stitch length. We're going to top stitch down the side and then, or base stitch down the side and top stitch down the zipper. Alright, we've got our zipper gusset all put together. Now we're going to add our zippers. If you wanted to, you could just use one. I like having two so that it kind of opens from the center. So we're going to put our left side on first, then our right side. We're going to try and get it straight. Alright, so if they line up like that, you've done it right. Bring that all the way to the end and open this up. Again, left side first, right side next, and try and put them on there at the same time. Alright, zippers are on. The next thing that you're going to need is your lining bottom gusset and your outer bottom gusset. We're going to take right side to right side our zipper and our bottom gusset. I'm going to clip those together just to kind of hold them in place. Then I'm going to take my lining and it's going to go right side to right side. We're going to take that to the sewing machine and we're going to sew it 1/4 inch. Alright, I've got my stitch length at 3, and then I'm just going to sew 1/4 inch. Alright, now that that's sewn, we're going to take the other end of our bottom gusset and put it right sides to right side with our zipper gusset on the opposite side. Okay. Now we're going to take our lining edge and add it to our zipper gusset. Circle-y situation. And then we're going to again sew 1/4 inch to sew them all together. Alright, so we've got both ends of our outer and our lining attached to our zipper gusset. We're going to turn this inside out. And then you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it. I like to take my outer and my lining, and I like to clip them together and then take them to the sewing machine and just kind of baste down the edges so that my lining and my outer panel are basically one piece like my zipper panel is. So I'll just go down 1/8 inch on both sides with a 4-stitch length just to make that into one piece of material basically to have to work with when we go to add it to the rest of our bag. So let's go do that. I've got my 4-stitch length, and then I'm just going to go 1/8 inch on the edge. Alright, so we've got our zipper gusset all into like one piece to have to work with. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the sides, squish up to the top, and make a snip. You're going to want to do that on both sides. Then the bottom, bring your center seams together, come down to the bottom, find the center. You're going to do that on both sides. Then we are going to set this aside, and we're going to grab our front and our back. We're going to grab our back lining and our front lining. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put wrong side to wrong side of our back like this. I am going to take this to the sewing machine and base stitch those together. Because this bag is binding, it's just going to be easier to just go ahead while I'm at the sewing machine and base stitch those together. Alright, so I'm going to go to the sewing machine and base that together while I do this. What you're going to do on your outer and your lining, we're going to have to do this for both, is on the corners you have your little clips cut out. You're going to have to put them together like that and then sew at 1/4 inch on each corner so that we get that kind of 3D poofy shape. So let's go to the sewing machine. I will base stitch this together first, and then we'll start on the corners. So I've got my 4-stitch length. I'm just going to base stitch at 1/8 inch all the way around. Alright, so I've got our outer panel and I have my lining over there. I'm going to do them together. I've got my stitch length at a 3. I'm going to put right sides together, and 1/4 inch. I'm going to sew, backstitch, sew. And then I'm just going to do all 4 on the front and all 4 on my lining. Don't forget to do your lining separately so that they will turn out like they're supposed to. Alright, our back panel, and I believe the triangle is supposed to go up like that. It's been a hot minute, you guys, since I've played Zelda. But we've got our back panel, our lining panel onto our back panel. I went ahead and found the center on both of our sides, and then the center of both the top and the bottom. We're going to set that aside. Went ahead and did all of the corners. Now what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to turn this, all these corners in. Then you're going to need to line this up and then clip these 2 together. And then as you're clipping them together, make sure that you're butterflying your seam. So this seam is going to the right, this seam is going to the left, so that they're not on top of each other and going to make a really thick seam for you. So this one to the right, that one to the left. We're going to take this to the sewing machine and just base stitch these 2 together. I've got my stitch length at a 4, and then I'm just going to sew these together at 1/8 inch. Alright, we got everything attached. Next thing that we're going to do is, if you haven't already, go ahead, put your corners together, find your center, do that on both the tops and the bottoms and the sides. We're going to turn our zipper gusset inside out. We're going to put right side to right side, so the very top of your zipper, making sure that's the top of your zipper, not the side. We're going to put right side to right side, and then we're going to clip all the way around, matching up our top and then our bottom. Wanted to show you guys, I did have to go in and make a few snips in my gusset so that everything would fit like it's supposed to. It is a tight gusset. It is tight. But go ahead and make sure that you make those snips in all of the corners so that your gusset will fit like it's supposed to. So now let's go to the sewing machine and we'll sew all this up. I have got my stitch length to a 4, and then I'm just going to sew all the way around. Alright, we got our gusset on. Now we need 2 things of binding. I've cut mine at 1 inch. And I'm going to take my binding and I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to cut at an angle like that. That's going to take some of that bulk out when we're going around. So fold that in half, or fold that edge down, and then fold this in half, and you can start anywhere on your bag. I like to start towards the top so that you don't really see where the binding starts and stops. If it's in the bottom of your bag, chances are good you'll be able to see it there. And just clip all the way around. Alright, I moved you guys over a little bit, so hopefully the gusset isn't in your way this time. Alright, I've got my stitch length at a 4, and now we're going to sew 1/4 inch all the way around. Okay, we have got the front side all together. We are going to hop to the book bag portion while I have my white thread in, and I'm going to show you how to put all of that together, and then we'll jump back to the sling portion. So for the book bag portion, we're going to need all 4 of our little triangles. We're going to need 2 of our D-ring straps connectors, which I will show you how to do when I show you the sling part of the book bag. You're going to need your D-rings, your strap adjusters, and your webbing. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our webbing, and we're going to grab 3 inches. We need 2 3-inch pieces. You are going to want to burn the ends because we do not want this to unravel on us, because that would not be good. And I don't know if you guys have gotten any of K&A's webbing, but you know sometimes when you're burning the edges of webbing that it kind of turns black on you. You know what I'm talking about? I don't have that happen very often with K&A's, which is nice because you don't want your webbing to look like poop on the end. Alright, we're going to grab 1 of our triangle pieces, we're going to grab 1 piece of our webbing, and 1 of our D-rings. You're going to take this, add your D-ring, close it together. If you wanted to, you could take it to the sewing machine and just kind of base stitch that closed so you don't have to worry about it popping open. Then we're going to place it directly in the center of our triangle and find a clip. We're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to do that to 2 of these. These are going to be our bottom of our book bag for our straps. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and baste these on. Alright, so really quick off camera, I just base stitched those into place. I left a little bit of a 1/4 inch of the webbing over the top. Next thing that we're going to do as a helicopter flies by, okay, you can still hear it a little bit, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to power through. I'm going to take 1 piece of my triangle, put it right sides together. We're going to start here, making sure to backstitch, come up, across, and over using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're going to do that for both of these. Alright, I've got a 3 stitch length, and we're using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Alright, very carefully we're going to turn this inside out. Oh, also, I put some snips on the corners just to take those edges out so they'll lay a little flatter when I turn them inside out. So we're going to turn this inside out. I'm not going to top stitch this. I'm just going to leave it like it is because that can get kind of thick. And you don't want to like ruin your little piece here if your fabric catches or if your needle doesn't want to go over top of it. So I'm going to leave it like that. I have my my kind of rounded end scissors. Don't use sharp end scissors when you're trying to turn this inside out. You will be very sad. Now we're going to measure out 1 inch in, and we're going to put both of these on the bottom of our back panel. They will both be 1 inch in. We do not want those in the corners when we're trying to sew. So I'm going to take these to the sewing machine, and at 1/8 of an inch with a 4 stitch length, I'm going to base stitch these on the back of my panel. Alright, so these are base stitched on. I figured that you didn't need to see every single step. Just base stitched them on at 1/8 of an inch. You could cut off these little extras if you wanted to. I also went ahead and folded this in half, and I found my center mark, and at the top I found my center mark because we're going to need those later and we don't want to have to like try and find them with everything else going on. Alright, again, I'm going to line this up on my mat. I'm going to grab my D-ring strap and another D-ring, and I'm going to put that on like that, fold it over like that, grab another clip, 1 inch from the edge. I'm trying to keep this nice and easy for you guys. 1 inch from the edge, you're going to clip your D-ring. Then again, take your other D-ring strap connector, fold it over top, find 1 inch over. Now I'm going to go base stitch these on. Alright, so we've got all of our D-rings connected and ready to go. I've grabbed both of my strap adjusters and my webbing. what you're going to need to do is grab one end of your webbing, give yourself like an inch, inch and a half of tail so that you can make a little square there, but not yet. So we're going to take our strap adjuster with the flap that you folded up. We're going to get to the very end. So we're going to hang on to that and go all the way to the end. We're keeping everything nice and straight, right? We're going to put it through the bottom, D-ring. We're going to come back through. So I've kind of pulled everything down. We're going to take this end. We're going to go back through our strap adjuster. So we should have this big long tail here, like that. I'm going to pull this through as far as I can because we're going to need all of this. Alright, we're going to go back to the sewing machine and sew this later. I just needed it here for right now. Alright, now we're going to take this end that goes over the strap adjuster. We're going to keep it straight. We're going to go up through this D-ring right here, so everything is straight. We're going through the top one, keeping everything straight. You'll get this, guys, I promise. Alright, keeping it straight, we're going to go across to this D-ring right here. So you should have, that's going to be your purse strap right there. Then we're going to take our strap adjuster. We're going to put it through our strap adjuster. Trying to give myself a little extra room. So we're going to put it through our strap adjuster just like that. Then we're going to put it through our D-ring at the bottom. So we're going to go from the right side, the side that's facing you. We're going to take it straight on. We're going to go through that D-ring. And then we're going to go up through the strap adjuster again. The center of the strap adjuster. And then back down just like you would with another strap adjuster. So that it looks like this. So you've got your book bag part, but you've also got your crossbody. You can adjust these straps as much as you need so that it can be as short as you need for the crossbody or as long as you need for the crossbody. Alright, if you promise to ignore the mess behind me because I got a lot I'm working on, I'll show you how to do this on your body. So I'm starting with my crossbody first. I'm going to take one side of my webbing. I've got this one nice and tight, so it looks like I want it to look like when I'm wearing it as a crossbody. This one is going to have to be tightened. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this in and see where I like it. And that looks good. So I will cut the end off of this so that it looks like I want it to. I don't want it to be too... I don't want these straps to be like out here when I'm wearing it as a crossbody, otherwise it'll look weird. Now, the second thing we need to do is check it as a book bag. Now, remember you've got your straps here that you can adjust. I don't want to mess with that because I've got it just right. So, you can take the strap adjusters up so that the book bag straps will be tighter. So just keep that in mind. But if it fits pretty good right now, so I'm happy with that. I think that's what we're going to do. So I would definitely just kind of try it on yourself and make sure that it fits like it's supposed to. If the extra webbing that we have is just too much, cut it off. And just kind of adjust it to your body. It'll probably fit most of your customers if you're doing this for selling or something like that. I am going to measure how much I need to cut off so that I have an 1.5 inch tail here. And then now that I've got some extra, I might make the little book bag strap onto the top so it can hang in the store or hang in somebody's pantry or something like that so they can hang it up. Alright, now let's cut this off and then I will show you how to sew on your strap adjusters. Alright, future Faith is going to hate editing that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am just going to kind of get some of this slack to give myself a little extra room to be able to sew my little square here. I've got my stitch length at a 3. You need to do that on both sides. My sewing room is the biggest mess right now because I have 3 different sew-alongs that I have to record for you guys, and there's just this big box of Faith you need to do things, and it's just all over my room right now. So you guys are going to be so excited because Alex cannot stop and she just kept thinking of things that we could make. So the game around is going to be amazing, and I think you guys are really going to like it, hopefully. Alright, I'm going to do the other side and fast forward it real quick. Just make sure that you do both sides. Same thing, give yourself a little slack so that you can kind of move. I can't wait to see this done. That's going to be so cool that you can wear it as a book bag and a purse. Love it. Alright. Alright, so if you wanted to have the little handle so that you can carry it around or hang it up somewhere, I've got a 7-inch piece of webbing, and 1 inch over, I'm going to put it right beside that one, and then I'm going to take this like this and put it right there. I'm going to clip it in place, and then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to base stitch it in place. I won't show you all of that because that's kind of a given. I'm going to set this aside. If you're doing this version, you can go ahead and take this back and add it to your front, sew it together, bind it, and you're done. We are going to be finishing up our Zelda version. Our sling version. So while I have the white thread in, we're going to take both of our D-ring connectors and we're going to measure in the center. Then I'm going to grab some double-sided tape. I'm going to put the double-sided tape in the center, and then when I get to the sewing machine, I'm going to remove the tape and push each side into the center, and then we're going to sew all the way around that. So let's go do that. So I've got my stitch length to a 4. I'm going to take that paper off, hopefully leave the double-sided tape. You're going to take your side and then smush it down like that. Take this other side, smush it down like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sew down one side, come back over, and then back up again. Alright, we have got our D-ring connectors all ready to go. I'm going to grab my webbing. I've got 50 inches of webbing. If you want it to be a little larger for yourself, make sure that you make it large enough. If you've ever made another sling, you kind of have an idea of how much you want. 50 seems to be a good length. We're going to grab one end of our webbing and we're going to grab one of our triangle pieces. And what we're going to do is we're going to clip it to our triangle piece and we're going to base stitch that in place. Alright, so we've got that base stitched in place. The next thing we're going to do is take the other triangle piece and put it right side to right side. We're going to sew from here up and over and back down again, and that way we'll have our strap into our sling connector. Alright, I've got my 3 stitch length again. We're going 1/4 inch. Alright, so it's sewn. I cut the corners off so it'll lay nice and flat when I turn it inside out. I'm not going to top stitch this because it can get thick and we don't want you messing anything up or breaking any needles or anything. I am taking a dull pair of scissors and I'm going to get those corners out. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to grab this and come, now that that's done, we're going to come down all the way to the end. We're going to grab our strap adjuster. We're going to put it on our strap adjuster just like that. Then I'm going to grab my swivel clasp and I'm going to put it on top, so it'll look just like that. Take this end right here and bring it up and around, and we're going to go back through our strap adjuster. So you're going to have to lift some of this up. So we're going to come up and over and back down again. Like that. So you're going to have your top that's going to have this connected, you're going to have this bottom, and you're going to clip these together, and we're going to take them to the sewing machine so that you have that going on. That's essentially what you're doing. You want this to be able to be adjustable so that you can have your strap for your sling, and then this can connect to either side of your sling. Before I change my thread out, I'm going to go ahead and grab my D-rings and base stitch them in place. So I'm going to grab my D-ring connector, I'm going to slide my D-ring on, close it up like that, an inch up, I'm going to place it there, and then I'm going to clip it, and I'm going to go ahead and take it to the sewing machine and base stitch these in place. So you're going to put them 1 inch up on both sides. So the part that's open is going to be the side that you're going to put your D-ring on, and the flat side of your D-ring will be there. And then you can close it up, measure 1 inch up, take this to the sewing machine, and go ahead and base stitch that in place. Alright, so we have got our D-rings base stitched on. Next thing I'm going to do is take this to the sewing machine, and I'm going to go ahead and make a square right around here so that my strap connector and all of that is in place, and then we can move on to putting everything together. You're almost done. I've got my stitch length to a 3, and then I'm just going to sew a little square around there. Alright, so I've got my square sewn up. I went ahead and clipped it to the bag. I'm going to take my sling strap adjuster, and I'm finding the center of where my strap adjuster needs to be. If you wanted to, you could fold this in half and make a little snip. I'm just going to fold it and press it a little bit, and then I know where the center is. And then I'm going to clip this in place, take it to the sewing machine, base stitch it in place, and then we can finish up. Alright, so our sling connector is connected. Alright, now we're going to grab the body of our bag. We're going to need to match up the center notch here and the center notch of the bottom, and then just start clipping all the way around. I'm going to start with my centers. You are going to need to snip the corners so that this kind of lays like it's supposed to. Alright, so when I was clipping around, even making the notches, I don't know what happened. The practice one worked. You are going to have some corners where you're going to have a little bit sticking out here. What you can do is go ahead and sew around it, and then when you get done, cut those corners off and round them out. I don't know. Stuff happens, and I give up. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, so I'm just doing 1/8 of an inch right now. We'll do 1/4 inch when I go to put the binding on. You just basically want to have it together so that you can work on this. So I'm going to go, now that I've got it all sewn together, I'm going to go back around and just kind of round this out. I don't know what happened, but we'll deal with it. Just cut out your rounded corners and just kind of round this out. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our binding. We're going to do just like we did on the first side. We're just going to fold our binding in half, make a little cut and a diagonal. I'm going to start at the top where my zipper is, And there's going to be a lot of bulk there because of that sling connector. So just kind of keep that in mind. You could start down the side if you wanted to, so you didn't have to deal with all of that bulk in that one spot. Right. We are going to sew with a 4-stitch length at 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Alright, all we gotta do is turn this inside out. So open up these zippers. It's a nice wide opening for you guys, which is nice when you have to turn something inside out. Alright, so I've got to do a little finessing, but it's super cute. You have your own little Zelda Game Boy sling, adjustable sling, and it's just super cute. Alright, now if you're doing the Kirby, you finish the Kirby the same way that you finished that. They just have a few extra steps. Also, I put one of the straps on the top because I wanted to have it. I forgot. So when I was sewing, I stopped, peeled it out, and added the strap. I show you how to do the strap when I do the Kirby bag. So if you want to see how that's added, make sure that you watch that portion of the video. But it's just nice to have, like if you're going to hang it up at a store, or if you're going to just kind of hang it up on a wall somewhere, they're just nice to have. Alright, let's go to the outro. Alright guys, so what did you think? I hope it was a really easy bag, and I hope I didn't throw you guys off trying to do the book bag crossbody strap. Hopefully I showed it to you well enough that you guys can actually like make it, because it's actually really cool. I've been using it. I've been using it and walking around trying to figure out how to make sure that it was hanging on me the best, and I really like how it turned out, so I hope you guys do too. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe so that you don't miss some of the other videos that are coming out. If the patterns are not out yet, they will be. I've been having to post videos a week early, so they will be out very, very soon. There was just a lot of sew-alongs in this round, so I'm having to post videos weeks ahead of time. But they're coming. The sew-alongs are coming. So if you don't want to miss those, make sure that you subscribe. And for those of you who are not subscribed, but you are watching, I know you're watching. I can see my stats. Please do me a favor and subscribe. I am so close to 10,000. I wanted to get there before the end of the year. So if you guys could help me out, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Or if you make any changes to the bag and you want to show us, go on K&A's Facebook group and make sure that you post your bag when you're finished. We go through so much work to get these bags ready for you guys. Hours on the computer. I have been on the computer for 2 days straight. When we go to make these patterns, and when we go to do the sew-alongs and the video editing and the written directions and all of that, it takes me days on the computer. And Alex works really hard on the artwork, and Kim getting everything, keeping me and Alex together. We love seeing them when you guys post them on Facebook. They're out in the wild. People are using them. They're making them. We love seeing them. So if you want to post them on Facebook so that we can see them, we'd love to see them. Or I'm on Instagram if you want to tag it at Faith Works Designs. Also, don't forget all of the work that I put into this. There are written instructions, so if you want those or feel like you need those, they're in the link down below in the description box. Thanks for joining us again on Faith Works Designs. Bye guys.